Good morning and happy rock day, everybody. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone has had their coffee. Oh, it's almost lunchtime. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Their third cup of coffee, whatever it happens to be. Anyway, we are doing a first on this channel, something we have yet to do, which I find amazing considering I've done close to 40 or more videos from this group. I know, crazy, right? All live videos. We are doing the video of Nightwish's Noise, just released on the 7th. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get it. Oh, wow. Oh. It's already starting a little weird for me. What the hell? Can I just stop for a minute and tell you how absolutely fucking beautiful Flora looks right now? Just, okay, amongst the weirdness, just to tell you that. She looks gorgeous.
Yourself, post for the dead, have a near-life experience, hit a hard jam matrix. Now you're a star, fame avatar, feeding the beast in your loud ego land. You have become tool of a tool, digital fool, setting you to shut up. nothing sleeps.
Sorry. That video made me a little emotional. Because I get it. I understand the message. And it's so true. And it's something that has been bothering me for so long. And I've spoken out about it many times to deaf ears. That people just don't realize the technology that my generation created is actually killing. Okay, so how do I word this? It was my generation that created Microsoft and Apple and, you know, not the beginnings of it, but the beginnings of, I mean, obviously computers started being developed in the 50s and stuff like that. But I mean, like, the first, like, home Apple computer, I think I started 8th grade was when they started putting computers in the schools for us to learn how to use. And so my first computer that I had in the home with my kids and my husband was an IBM computer. And it was MS-DOS. There was no such thing as Windows back then. You had to literally type in and program whatever it was that you wanted that computer to do. So my generation, when I was a kid, there was no such thing as microwaves, no such thing as CD players, no such thing as, in my generation alone, right? I'll be 50 next year. So I'm just going to say in the last 30 years, I'll just say that, okay? Well, last 40 years, okay? So since I've been 10 years old, I've seen the 8-track go away. Out of my mom's car used to have an 8-track in it. So the 8-track go away to the cassette player, to the CD player, to now my car has, I ordered it with a CD player because I still own hundreds of CDs, but it comes with a CD player, custom put in, but it also runs off Bluetooth, and it has a hard drive in it, so I can actually download things into the actual computer of the car. But generally, I just use the Bluetooth, where it just automatically links up with my phone and uses the music on my phone. So the cloud, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Also, you go with other things, like you had your regular TV stations, your local TV stations, and then I think you had like USA had been along for a really long time. Anyway, and then you had another, probably Turner, the one that played really old movies, because my sister and I used to watch that on Sundays. That's why I'm a movie buff. But when cable came in, like, MTV was huge. I remember when MTV showed up, I was like 12 or 13 years old. 12 maybe? Because I remember watching the very first music video. I remember when MTV was music video television. It's not anymore, but I remember when it was. But also, like, I watched microwaves. What were microwaves? I remember when we got our first microwave. Same with, you know, gosh, everything. There's so many things that are different that didn't exist. They just didn't exist in my childhood, and now they're here. Cell phones, beepers. I had a beeper for years, and then when I moved to Germany, they were already on cell phones over there while we were still using beepers here. I mean, I had a cell phone bag in my car because of business. I worked, I was in my car a lot of the time. So I had a cell phone bag in my car, but we didn't have like hand cell phones, like little ones, hand cell phones. But when I got stationed, I was still using a beeper. And when I got to Germany and was stationed in Germany, they were already on cell phones, like little cell phones. I think the first one I got was a Nokia, a little handheld Nokia, and I went to a Motorola after that. But they were already on cell phones in Europe before us, and I was like, what the, you know what I mean? And I've had iPhones ever since the iPhone came out. Sorry, see my beautiful granddaughter? Anyway, I've had them since they came out. My problem, and the reason why I understand this, is that I have watched my generation basically took this technology and ran with it and created a world in which everything, and I mean everything that we do in our lives, is linked one way or another to it. And you know how I know this? Yesterday in New York, we had a huge, huge outage. Do you want to know what in? Every single home in the state of New York yesterday, if they had Spectrum as a carrier, they lost their cable and their internet. Their cable and their internet. Lost it, I want to say around, it's why I didn't do any more videos. Lost it around 12, around noon, and we didn't get it back until the evening. Complete blackout. And I was talking to my best friend this morning about it, and it was like, everybody was like, well, what are we supposed to do now? What do we do now? And I remember talking to the guy on the phone because I called, because I didn't, of course, first thing you do is call. You don't know if it's you. But when I was talking to the guy on the phone, I said, well, that's okay. I mean, I know how to read. You know, I love books. I'm like, that's okay, that's fine, I know how to read. And he laughed when I said that, and I said, why? And he goes, well, this morning, a caller, I was talking to a woman on the phone, and she was irate. I mean, she's completely pissed off. And she said, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? Read? I mean, come on, lady. Seriously, what did you do before technology entered your life? Before, the only thing that mattered to you was this all day. You're either playing games or you're texting or you're talking to somebody on a friggin' phone all day. But this is this. You know what this has done? Because I've seen it happen in all 4 of my children. Number 1, they have no social skills. No interpersonal social skills. I mean face-to-face contact. Face-to-face communication. They don't know how to do it. Secondly, they don't have conversational skills. They don't respect people, because when you hide behind technology, whether it be a computer or a phone or a tablet, you get a false sense of courage and you feel like you can say and do whatever you want, when in reality you can't, or you shouldn't, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Also, with the Instagram models and stuff like that, telling us that, oh, well, this is what looks good. This is that. This is that. So we if we want an ass like this, we need to get a butt lift. If we want, you know, a face like this, we have to get a nose job. We have to get silicone in our lips. We have to get a facelift. We have to get a boob job. We have to get you know what I'm saying? Through social media, basically, they allow social media to run their life. through Twitter, through Instagram. It's really sad, actually. And lastly, you miss out on all the great things that there are in just living and being around people in the natural way, and not being around people in the natural way. Just experiencing life, experiencing nature, and experiencing people. I have a huge problem, and I say this as I'm hooked up to all this technology, but when I unplug, I unplug. I set my phone to a do not disturb. I set it at, I think, 7 o'clock at night until the morning, until 5 in the morning. So if anyone tries to contact me between those hours, you're not going to get me, because I need my downtime, and my downtime is my downtime. And that means I don't want to be bothered with phone calls, text messages. You know, there are a few people who can, because you can program it for a couple of numbers to get through if you need them to. Yep, for emergencies. Other than that, nope. Don't bother me. The other thing brought up, the pills. Yeah, the pills. We all know pills is a huge issue. The babies, the kids, the adults being programmed you're being programmed pretty much from birth as to how you're supposed to think, what image you're supposed to have. It's all behind a screen. It's almost like it doesn't matter what values and morals your parents tried to teach you. You're going to be more influenced by what's behind that little screen, what's on that screen, versus what your parents try to teach you. So you might as well just be hooked up to a little, instead of holding it out here, you might as well just have your head hooked up to it and just lie there, because that's basically what you're doing. You're not living. You're just sitting there walking around aimlessly and sitting down with people you call friends, and now you're in a group of 4 people with all of you with your cell phones in front of your face. I don't know. That's pretty much what I got out of that. Oh, God. But when they say that, the noise, it actually is. It's called internet noise or chatter or whatever. But yeah, it's all the social media noise, all that crap that's coming at you. You decide for yourself what's beautiful. You decide for yourself who you're going to be, what you're going to be, and don't listen to the noise. Don't listen to the noise. Beautiful video, beautifully done, an amazing song. I loved it. And I love the message. Sorry I went on about that. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Please remember to comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when I drop my next video. And what else? Yes, all about love in 2020. And as always, take care of each other, because nobody else is going to. Ciao.